White House spokesman Bill Burton said today that the president stands by these controversial methods. And here with reaction, attorney Jami Floyd and Fox News contributor Andrea Tantaros. Wait a minute. Jamie, let me understand this straight. The same people, they're doing this in the name of security. They won't control our borders. They give Miranda rights to enemy combatants on the battlefield. They give civilian trials to terrorists. And now they're going to pat down every grandma, every nun, every 8-year-old kid's going to have to take off his shirt. Do you support that as a civil libertarian?
Look, I'm usually all about civil liberties. You know, I'm the one who says, let's hold on. Look, we have got a post-9/11 world. I wish we lived in a world where we didn't have to have a pat down.
Who do you think has tougher
airport.
Security issues, America or Israel?
I know you're going to bring up the Israelification of the airports.
Who has tougher security? Who's a bigger target, Israel or the U.S.?
I would say we're comparable targets, and I agree with you on that, but I don't think it's realistic when we have 1.5 million travelers, and tomorrow we're going to have 2 million travelers, 40,000 flights a day.
When have they ever been concerned about spending our money?
It's not about spending money. It's about whether it's realistic to apply Israeli.
It's about being smart. And before we take away the rights of Americans and put them through the indignity of being seen by some guy naked...
It's not
and
just
patting
about,
down their crotches and their breath. If I did to you right now what they're doing to passengers,
it's not just
you would sue me.
It's not just about democracy and values. It's about what works. Could we possibly do what Israel does every single day?
That's why we're talking about Israel, because what Israel does works. And if they have time to touch our groins and fondle our goodies, guess what? They have time to ask us a few simple questions like they do in Israel. We can avoid all this
It's even bigger than that.
They don't
nonsense back and forth.
It's bigger than that, because the Israelis also do something else. Before every passenger gets on that plane, they know everything about them. They know their travel habits. They know they check their background, their security.
But Sean, we can't do that here because that's political correctness. We don't want to offend anybody by actually bringing up behavioral profiling. And this is why I don't understand. The left screams about civil liberties over and over and over again. But these pat-downs are invasive and an obstruction.
I'm fine with the word profiling. I have no problem with the word profiling. I'm going to surprise you. I'm not predictable on that issue. I'm not for racial profiling. I think the word profiling is just a hot
behavioral. What about behavioral?
I think what we have to do is risk assessment. And I think that's fine to do, but we have to be practical and realistic. What's going to work?
You missed my opening argument here. If these same people in the name of security can't control our borders, terrorists have open access to our country, if these same people give Miranda rights to enemy combatants and civilian trials to wait a minute. I don't want to be lectured by security if they don't go through due diligence and go after the bad people first and profile rather than putting grandma and nuns and children through this. Wait a minute. Answer that. Why don't we do those things first?
Because Al-Qaeda is on to us. They are not just recruiting the people we think look like terrorists. They're not just
Al-Qaeda on Israel?
Look at the 2006 plot, which involved a married couple with a baby.
Israel?
Look at the man who was going to blow up a plane over Detroit.
Is Al-Qaeda
what do these terrorists look like? They don't look like what we think they look like. They look like you. They look like me. We can't profile in the way we think we can profile.
Jamie, you're talking about ethnic and racial profiling, which is not what we're talking about. Israel doesn't do that.
No, that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about risk assessment.
They're talking about behavioral profiling. That is, seeing people's behavior, doing background checks before they even get to the airport. Because, Sean, you and I both know explosives that are put in carry-ons, explosives that are put in the belly of the plane. You cannot stop that stuff.
We have a different demographic in the United States. We have a different number. We have 40,000 flights a day.
Then we should be better at it,
2 million
Jamie.
travelers.
We should be much better.
I don't disagree.
Bigger budget. We have more people. We have no excuses here.
I don't disagree that we should be better. We must be better. But on Fox News for the last 10 years, we have heard, and correctly so, that we have not had another 9/11, and we have not for a reason.
And we didn't do this until Barack Obama took over, did we?
We have not had another 9/11 for a reason.
But we didn't do this, and we still didn't have another 9/11. You're missing the major point.
We are stepping up our security, not stepping it back.
Let me go into the political side of this, because just like the Tea Party movement, there seems to be an uprising in the country, and this is getting fascinating to me. People are outraged. People are saying they may boycott the airlines. They may avoid the full-body scanners. Now, we see signs the government's backing off. Sherlock Napolitano, my nickname for her, said we may see changes. The head of the TSA was saying on Sunday, no changes. Now he's saying today that he's open to reviewing the procedures. Does that mean that they're politically afraid of what's happening with the American people?
Because it's a metaphor for something bigger. It's a metaphor. The "don't touch my junk" spans all areas of what this administration is doing. It's not just the TSA. It's health care. It's Social Security. Hands off. Don't touch my junk. Don't touch my kids. Don't tell me what to eat. Don't tell me what to drive, Mr. Obama.
Well said.
I don't want an electric car.
Honestly, I got a question.
I don't think we're going to see a boycott tomorrow, however.
Oh, I think I interviewed the people today.
We're not going to see a boycott tomorrow, and there is no fundamental right to fly in this country. If you don't want your junk touched, you can drive to grandma.
There's going to be. It's a matter of how big it is. Now, I don't support boycotts. I don't believe in them. Now,
I know you don't.
Here's my next question to you. How about Barack Obama and his family lead by example? Why don't we send his wife and kids and let them go through an airport?
Why don't we?
You're all for it?
I'm all for it. I know I'm going to the airport. Now, I know my kids will take the pat down.
Do you think, as we've seen these images of people's groins being grabbed and breasts being touched, do you think the president might have a different perspective?
I think we'll wait and we'll see. I mean, look, the bottom line is you have a constitutional right to privacy, but you don't have a constitutional right to fly. You don't even have a constitutional right to privacy.
You're driving me nuts. Andrea gets the last one.
Yeah, look, they throw these big monstrosities together like they did with the health care bill. They had to exempt now pilots. I mean, my brother's a pilot. He said if I wanted to take down that plane, I could do it on my own. It shows, Sean, once again, Washington is not thinking about this. And again, the left, when conservatives and the ACLU can agree on something, you know that it's an important issue. And I would add, Sean, the left that's outraged about this, they're the same left that cried foul when the Bush administration tried to wiretap without a warrant. Oh, it's not, and then it's the name of security. How about a warrant? How about a warrant to give me a pat down?
You won't see the boycott because people want to get to grandma's and they're going tomorrow.
You know what? You can't wiretap our enemies, but we can do this. Think about that. Grandma, nuns, little old people in wheelchairs.
I don't think anyone should be exempt. We're all going.
Oh, okay. So we really got to spend those limited resources on Grandma. She's a real threat. Plenty more Hannity straight ahead.